I cut my best friend of my entire life out of my life because of his girlfriend's political beliefs. Here's my story. You tell me if I'm an asshole. So I got a text from my best friend of my entire life. Since I met him when I was in kindergarten, we lived in the same neighborhood, and I have seen this man at least once a week for my entire life. So my birthday was coming up, and I was going to have a birthday party with my close group of friends. This is a group of friends that at this point we hang out weekly. There's maybe 10 or 12 of us in this group, and every single one of us is extremely left-leaning. There's people in this group of friends that are gay. There's people in this group of friends that are bisexual. There's people of color in this group. So there's, minorities in this group that can be negatively affected by the Trump administration. One member of this group is also my best friend, my ex-best friend, his little brother, who is gay. I have a brother who is gay, okay? Just information that's going to be helpful as we continue in the story. So, my birthday was coming up, birthday party at my house with this group of people that I just explained to you. He texts me and he says, okay, my cat is scratching my chair. Mochi, chill, Mochi, chill, Mochi, chill. He texts me and he says, he had briefly mentioned, he's not the type to really share all this information very outright. So he briefly mentioned he was seeing this girl for not very long. It had been like a week, whatever. I don't care. He's like, oh, can I bring my new, I don't know if he even called her his girlfriend. Can I bring this girl over? We've been hanging out. I want you to meet her. And I was like, dude, of course. I was so excited to meet this person in his life. I had never before met a woman that he was kind of in a relationship with. So this was really cool for me. I have a girlfriend who he had been really close with. And I thought it was going to be an awesome opportunity for us to go on double dates together, do this cringe shit with my best friend. I was like, this is going to be so cool. So I was like, dude, absolutely. Bring her over. This is going to be awesome. So he brings her over. And through the whole night, she was perfectly fine. She was chill. There's all 12 of us or something hanging out in my apartment, doing fun shit together like a group of friends would. As the night went on, more people left. And I knew he would stay late. And this girl would stay with him, obviously. He's my best friend. And I knew he was going to stay late, maybe even stay the night. So it had gotten pretty late. And everyone had left except me, because I live here. My girlfriend, who had went to bed. So in the living room, it was me, my best friend, his girlfriend, our other we have a group of, there's 3 of us, me, my best friend, and my other best friend. It was kind of a group of 3. He was there still. And my best friend's little brother, the one who I'd mentioned, that is gay. So we were kind of hanging out in the evening, chatting. There was a movie on in the background that we weren't watching. And I had got, at Costco that day, I had bought some eggs. Okay, I bought some eggs, and they were higher priced than they had been previously. It's not that deep to me, frankly. And I was like, oh, I got a dozen eggs at Costco today. Guess how much they cost? And his girlfriend was said some weird comment about how the price of the eggs wasn't due to Trump. And me and my best friend's little brother, we kind of did that whole side eye thing. Yikes, what was that about? I was like, whatever. Maybe it was a joke that didn't land, So the night went on and I was like, whatever, I'm going to try and forget about that. The next morning, my girlfriend comes to me and she's like, did you think his girlfriend was kind of weird? And he's my best friend. So I gave him all the benefits of the doubt, right? So I was like, no, I think she was awesome. She was fun to hang out with. Maybe she was kind of uncomfortable in a new environment, whatever. But she seems so cool. Kind of went on with it. Didn't think much else about it, okay? And then just a few days later, this exact same group of people, like I said, we hang out frequently. So we're going to get together, hang out again, okay? This time at one of our other friends' houses. Same group of people. We all get there. We hang out. It's a fun time. We're hanging out, whatever. And then that evening I left and went home pretty late. Maybe I got home at 1 or 2 a.m., and I'm going on my phone, scrolling through Instagram, right? Remember, at this point, I'm still I'm accepting her, and I'm so happy my best friend has a girlfriend. We can get to know and hang out together. It's going to be awesome. Scrolling through social media, it's Gen Z, so I'd already followed her on Instagram, right? And she had posted a story. This story was posted before that evening when we all hung out. It was before she came over, before everyone hung out. And remember, every person, except for her, in this group of people, extremely left-leaning, people of color, people with all sorts of sexualities, super accepting group. We're all on the same page, right? Before she came over that day, she posted a video onto her story, and it was a video of a dude filming his cowboy boots, right? And the caption said, the reason that I wear cowboy boots is to kick Democrats in the dick. So I saw that story. I immediately texted my best friend a fucking paragraph, multiple paragraphs. It was an essay. This would have got a fucking A+ in my English class, fucking in high school, okay? And I was pretty much like, dude, this is unacceptable. She is around a group of Democrats, you know, the people she wants to kick in the dick. She is posting, she knows we all followed her just the other night on my birthday party. We all followed her and we're accepting her into our group of friends. We all followed her. But right before she came over to hang out with 12 Democrats that she wants to kick in the dick, she posts that on her story and comes over and is just like, what? What is that? She knows. She's got to know all of our political beliefs. And she posts that anyway. And so I texted him. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't need to agree politically with fucking everyone on the planet. But if this new girl that you're bringing into our group of friends is so comfortable sharing her political beliefs that she says online that she would want to kick me in the dick, and then 1 hour later she comes over and hangs out with 12 of us, 12 of these people she wants to kick in the dick, and acts like she didn't post that. So I personally think she posted that knowing that all of us who just followed her online was going to see it. She had to have. That had to have been the reason. She wanted us to see that and wanted us to know that she does not fuck with us and wants to kick us in the dick because we didn't vote for Trump. So I sent a message. I was like, hey, she is not allowed to hang out with my group of friends anymore. Like I had mentioned multiple times, there's people of color in this group. There's people who have all sorts of sexualities. And me, as the straight white male, you know, she doesn't threaten me. And the Trump administration isn't really going to negatively affect me. So I think that makes it my duty to protect my friends who actually can be affected by these things. So I said, hey, she is not allowed to hang out with us and come to my house anymore because she clearly shouldn't want to anyway. She wants to kick us. She wants to kick us in the dick. Like, what the fuck is that? And that shit pissed me off crazy. So I was like, hey, she's not fucking coming over anymore. I've never had confrontation with this dude in my entire life. He's the most easygoing person I have ever met. Never once have I had to raise my voice at him. We've never even had a fucking disagreement. So me telling him, like, hey, your new girlfriend, fuck her, she's not coming over anymore, was really weird for me. And you want to know what? He never replied. He never replied to my text message where I was like, hey, she's not allowed to come over and hang out with us anymore. And, you know, I explained it all in very great detail. I was like, hey, look, we both have gay brothers. She voted for somebody that doesn't support your fucking family. Are you okay with that? No answer. Hey, I don't like that you're bringing somebody around who is going to make people in our friend group uncomfortable, including my girlfriend because she's not white, including your brother because he's gay. No answer. He didn't text me back. Maybe like a month later, he texted me some vague thing and was like, oh, I don't want to lose my friends over some girls. And like, I hope we can come to an agreement on this and figure it out, which like on face value, like seemed nice. And so I sent him another text message that was honestly similar to my first. I was like, hey, I still agree with everything I fucking texted you a month ago that you didn't reply to. I haven't seen him since, haven't hung out with him since, haven't even spoke to him once. My best friend of my entire life, and boom, gone just like that because his fucking stupid Trump girlfriend. And everyone in this group, of course, I've talked to them all about it. I said like, hey, you know, as it was going on here, I texted my friend this and that. What do you guys think? They all agreed with me, and they were thankful that I was willing to stand up for them and say, hey, we're not letting some Trumpy bitch be in this group of friends. None of us agree with her. None of us want to be around somebody like that who's just going to blatantly disrespect all of us. I haven't seen him since.
So story time, and I'm going to give y'all a little background information. I've lived in the same area for 3 years. I go to the same gas station, and I'm at this gas station maybe twice a week. I am the fake busy friend. I run a lot of errands. So I'm at this gas station twice a week, filling up, getting gas. Now, beforehand, the cashier that was there at first, very friendly, me and her talk, you know, we go back and forth. She's asking me, you know, how my day is, you know, her customer service A1. For the past 6 months, there's a new cashier. We're just going to call her Amy. Since the beginning, since I've noticed that, she was new, whatever like that, this girl has not said one word to me. And at first, I really didn't notice until the one day I was just like, hi, how are you? Y'all, she literally looked me dead in my face and said not one thing to me. I go in there and I could tell her like, yes, let me get 50 on pump 1. She just shakes her head. I've never heard this girl voice. And I know a lot of y'all gonna say, oh, well, she's not obligated to say anything to you, whatever. She's just doing her job, because when it's time to like ask for a receipt, everything is on the screen. So she literally doesn't have to say anything, but it's just a fact. Like, dang, hey, how are you? Thank you. You welcome. Something. Nothing. I get nothing out of this girl. But one thing that she does though, she stares at me from the time I walk in. And no matter what, one time I even looked back and she was standing up on her tiptoes, like looking over the counter, like to see what I was doing back there in the freezer, which I was just getting like a water bottle or a Gatorade, whatever. From the time I walk through the door to the time I pull up from the gas station, she is looking at me. I don't even think she blinks. So yes, at first it was very irritating, especially a day where I pulled up and I'm walking in the gas station. There's another guy in the gas station. And I see them having a good old time. I'm just like, oh, so like she's actually talking. She's actually communicating with the customers. So she's just not saying anything to me. So yes, I'm telling y'all this because like I told her, I did think she was racist, because it's like, even I'm going out my way to be like, hi, how are you? Thank you. No, nothing. She just looks at me kind of like with this smile, smirk on her face. So at first, yes, it was getting to me. I even remember telling some of my friends, like, bro, this girl at the gas station, like, she's so weird. Like, her customer service is like, God forbid I walk in there and I don't know where something's at, or if I actually need something, I don't think she would even respond to me. She says not one word to me. She just stares. So boom, 6 months go by. I'm used to it at this point. I pull up, I get my gas, I leave. Me and Amy still not saying nothing. I stopped trying to, reach out first. I stopped trying to be like, oh, how are you? Because I'm noticing that this girl is just not going to say anything to me personally. At this point, I've seen her talk to other people. I've seen her interact with other people. Just nothing to me. Okay, so now this part is very important. Last weekend, for the past few weekends, but last weekend specifically, I've been on the phone with my friends, y'all. I've been wanting this camera. I know some of y'all may know what it is, the Canon G7X Mark II or the Canon PowerShot 740, something like that. These cameras have been going crazy on TikTok. The company Canon will no longer be making them or whatever like that. So people have been upcharging and reselling for 5 to even 10 times this price. If you go look, Google it, Best Buy, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, people are just like selling this camera for a ridiculous amount of money. I don't care if I can have $1 trillion right now. I'm just not paying that. So I've been on the phone with my friends telling them like, hey, could you check the Facebook Marketplace in your area, California, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia? Like, I really want this camera, but there's no way I'm going to pay this ridiculous price. If you know me, I'm just not on that. So I do remember being in the gas station, having this on the phone with my friend, telling her like, hey, look, like if this guy's legit, because y'all know people be trying to scam. I'm like, I'll send you the money, pull up on him. Like, I really need this camera. And she's like, you know what, friend? I don't think he's legit. I'm not even going to make you waste your money, but don't worry, we're going to get you this camera. We on FaceTime, so I'm knowing that Amy, the cashier, is hearing my conversation. Still nothing. No, have a good day. No, nothing. I get my gas and I leave. Now, I was just at the gas station. It's Saturday. I was just at the gas station Wednesday, getting gas. And I swear, I told my friend, it's like, she looked like she wanted to say something to me, but she didn't. And I feel like it's because it was maybe other people in the store, or maybe because I was on the phone. But I kept telling my friend, like, I don't know. It just like she looked like she wanted to say something, but she never did. Neither here nor there. Forgot about it. Cool. Saturday morning, which is today, I pull up to the gas station. It's just me, whatever. I'm not on the phone this time. I go in, I get my gas, I get a water bottle, whatever. I'm outside pumping the gas. I am the only person at the gas station. So I'm in my phone, probably like on TikTok or something like that. And I hear somebody say, hey, Star. I almost broke my neck turning around because I'm like, wait. The past 6 months, this girl has not said a mumbling word. You mean to like, you know my name? So yes, off GP, I turn around. I'm just like kind of defensive because I'm like, what? But like low key, I want to know, like, how do you even know my name? Like, what's going on? Why are you just now saying something to me? But anyway, I'm noticing that she's walking towards me with her hands behind her back. Now, somebody like me, that's just some stuff that you don't do. I am very particular about my personal space, my personal bubble. So I'm already like on my P's and Q's. I have my crossbody with me. And yes, I live in Texas. Do what you will with that information. So boom, she's like, hey, I have something for you. Somebody that haven't even said hey to me. The customer service have been trash. What could you possibly have for somebody like me? So I asked her nicely. I'm like, could you stop walking towards me? Mind you, it's just me and her outside the gas station. It's kind of early. Nobody there. I don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to come off too aggressive, but at the same time, you got to chill out. Like, come on. So I feel like it wasn't until she seen me go inside, like unzip my crossbody bag, she kind of halted and was like, wait. So she stopped. So now I'm back to feeling comfortable. So I'm like, what is it? Like, what's in that bag? She pulls this bag out from behind her back. This is a Ulta bag. I don't shop at Ulta. There's nothing at Ulta for me. So there's no way I could have an Ulta bag. She's handing it to me, like just trying to give it to me. As you can see, the bag is not see-through, so I don't know what's in the bag. So I tell her like, nah, you go in the bag. Mind you, this is my very first encounter with this woman over the past 6 months, so I don't know what type of time she on. So she holds the bag down and holds it open, so I kind of like lean over so I can see. She's like, yeah, I don't want to be weird or whatever, but I did hear your conversation last week and I just wanted to gift you one of my old cameras. I'm not using it and I would rather, you have it because I know you're going to do something with it. She's like, I follow you on social media. Like, I really love your content. So I know that you're going to do great things with this camera. It's like fairly new. I barely even used it. She's like, I even bought you more accessories just in case you needed it. Y'all, I've been on a hunt for this camera. I have been driving myself insane trying to get this camera. And here goes Amy from the gas station giving me this camera for free. So immediately I'm in shock because not only do you talk, not only do you know me or something from social media, but you're gifting me this camera. And I'm telling her like, nah, I'm going to pay you for it. Like, how much do you want? She's like, no, I'm not going to take anything from you. I just want you to keep creating content. Like, I love your story times. Like, I love your real videos. I love when you post. Like, I like your pictures. Just please keep posting content. I'm like, nah, you have to understand these cameras are going for at least $1,000. I'm going to pay you something for this camera. She's like, again, I'm not going to take anything from you. Please take this. If you don't take it, I'm going to resell it to somebody for maybe $1,000, $2,000. So take it for free. Please just keep creating content. Y'all, in this bag, it's the camera that I've been wanting. Ask any of my friends. Like, I've been going crazy, like driving myself mad over this. She got me some extra battery chargers. She got me some extra batteries. She got me another case to put the camera in. She has gotten me a tripod. Like, she's gotten me screen protectors. She's gotten me the cord that I could connect and I don't know how to feel. So once I realized this girl is not going to accept no kind of money from me, I just stood there. Like, I'm looking at her, she looking at me. I'm just like in shock. I don't know how to feel. It's so many different like emotions because it's like, oh my God, thank you so much. But like, this is my first time hearing you talk. This is our first interaction. You know me from social media, but honestly, you don't know me from a can of paint. So for you to not only go out of your way and give me all this stuff, yo, it's like, and y'all have to understand, I'm a little caught off from the interaction too, because at first I'm like, hold on, like what is she on? Like, what is she doing? But now, like, all is well, but this is like, I feel like I have to do something. She doesn't want anything from me. So it's like, what should I do? What can I do? I thanked her 1,000,000 times over. I'm even telling her, like, I'll go to the ATM right now, bring some money. She's like, it's not about the money. Take the camera and just keep doing what you need to do. Every time you come in this gas station, I hear you talking about this camera. For the last month, I'm telling you, I've been calling my friends. Please check, go check the pawn shops. I've been driving myself insane trying to get this camera. And you come out of nowhere and just pull it from behind your back. Wow. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. Told her, like, thank you. And I told her, I do apologize if sometimes I came in here and I, maybe you felt the vibe, but I was just kind of getting, and she would always say like, she's shy and she really didn't know what to say to me or how to approach me and stuff like that. And it's like, dang, I apologize for assuming certain things because like I told y'all, I did think that maybe she just don't like my kind. I don't know, but I had accepted that. I just went and got my gas and went about my business. But shout out to Amy from the gas station. I told her I was going to make a story time about it. She gave me full permission. Just don't, name drop her or, she don't really like the spotlight on social media. But you don't know how amazing you just made me feel. You don't know. You just made my day. And thank you. I can't thank you enough. The war is over.
One time, me and my best friend spent our savings on a trip to Miami, and then we tried to check in online. It won't let us check in, and we're like, that's really weird. So we go to the airport, we try and use the bag drop thing, and it still won't let us check in. We're like, okay, that's strange. And then we go to the desk, and this woman literally looks like she hates us. We are the bane of her existence. And she's talking to us, and I'm like, okay, like, whatever, look. We go back and forth. She's saying that we didn't pay for the luggage, we haven't pre-booked it. And I said, we definitely did, because I've seen the screenshot. Couldn't find the screenshot of the desk. So I said, you know what, whatever, I'll claim it back, fine. So we pay, she goes, it's £6 each. I said, yeah, that's fine. Put my suitcase on, it comes up £120. So I made a comment and said, oh, I'm paying for both of them then, am I? Ha ha ha. And she stares me down. She gives me the evilest stare I've ever seen. So I move on, whatever, I pay it. And then my best friend puts hers on, and then she's like, yeah, that's £6. And I said, no, I've just paid for both. I just paid 120 quid. And she goes, no, you didn't. And I said, yes, I did. Then I had to open my banking app to show her that I did just pay 120 pounds. She said, why didn't you say anything? And I said, no, I did, as a matter of fact. So then I asked for a refund for the £6 that I shouldn't have been charged. And she then basically just goes, no, I can't give it to you. You have to claim it back. Whatever, we were going to claim the 120 back anyway. Fine, so be it. And then finishing up doing our cases, and then she goes, oh, by the way, these only get your cases to Madrid, because we're changing in Madrid. And I said, no, they're supposed to be checked all the way to Miami. And she goes, no, you'll have to do this all again in Madrid. You'll have to pay again in Madrid, and you'll have to get off the flight, recollect your luggage, and then go and get your suitcases again and check them back in. And I said, we can't do that. We've only got an hour. And she said, we shouldn't have booked a connecting flight with only an hour. And I said, in fact, I didn't. British Airways did, and I actually didn't have a choice. So sorry, that's actually not my fault. Anyway, we end up crying at this desk. She, again, don't care. She's not asked at all. So eventually we're like, okay, whatever, you're not very nice. So we leave the desk. We're like, absolutely in tears. We end up talking to this really lovely woman at one of the information checkpoints, and she's like, do you see the thing in your ticket? It is actually checked all the way to Miami. I don't know why she told you it wasn't. You won't have to do that. Just get off the thing. Now, the other problem is she could only print us one boarding pass, and then she said, I can't print your boarding pass to Madrid. And I said, well, you definitely can. I've had connecting flights before. And she said, no, I can't print it. Can't check you in, whatever. So we have a connecting flight and then no ticket to get on the next flight. So we're like, okay, what the hell are we going to do? The woman at the information checkpoint goes, oh, go to the gate and they'll be able to print it for you at the gate because she has checked you in because she's checked your luggage. And we said, okay, that's fine. We go to the gate. Alas, their printer's not working. They can't print us anything. So we're like, okay, well, what do we do? They're like, okay, get to the airport the other end. You'll just have to find someone to print it for you. But I don't know what she's done, but she has sort of checked you in, but not really. I don't really know what she's done. So we're like, okay, fantastic. So we go through the gate, and as we're walking down the tunnels, get on the plane, a man comes up the tunnel, one of the tarmac high-vis men comes up the tunnel, and he's got his phone out, and his phone is tilted like that towards me. Tell me why there is a picture of my suitcase on this man's phone. My suitcase is massive and bright pink, and I walk past and I go to Imi, that's my suitcase. And she goes, what? And I said, that man had a picture of my suitcase on his phone. He goes up to the guy at the gate and he goes, do you know whose case this is? And the guy's like, no, obviously thinking that we've just checked it in at the gate. The guy's like, no. And I said, oh, sorry, that's my suitcase. And he said, oh, okay, what are you getting on this flight? And I said, yeah, to be absolutely clear, I'm going to Madrid and then I'm going to Miami. And he goes, oh, yeah, that's fine. For some reason, it's been deleted off the system. So it's like not been assigned a passenger. So that's fine. I'll just make sure it gets on this plane. And I said, no, I'll tell you exactly who's done that. So I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, that's fine. I said, make sure it gets to Miami. And he was like, no, it definitely will. Don't worry. I've sorted it. I said, oh, big love you, fine. Get on the plane. We asked the air stewardesses. I will say none of them were any help. They basically were like, just sit down, shut up. And we were like, okay, look, I completely appreciate you've got a job to do, but like, mate, we're panicking. If I'm honest with you, we're really panicking. So they eventually, one of them really lovely came over and she was like, all right, look, just get off. You have to find like the airline that we're on. You have to find the check-in desk for that before the gate. So we go there anyway. We speak to this guy, we explain him everything, and he's like, that's really weird, like whatever. So he then gets out a piece of paper and hand writes us a boarding pass, a paper and a biro. I'm looking at this man like, I'm not doubting you. I'm not doubting your abilities. I'm not doubting your credentials. I don't think that's gonna fly. And he said, they know who I am. No further explanation, say less. So then we go through the little pre-gate security because it's an international flight. And we go through there. I get stopped and swabbed for drugs. Imi gets stopped and swabbed for explosives. They literally tip out my whole suitcase and I'm thinking, we've got half an hour, love. We only had an hour when we got off the plane and that was we've been sprinting through this airport. We haven't got the time for this. So eventually we go up, we go to queue in the queue. Imi then goes, I need the toilet. I said, you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait. And she goes, I need to go now. Anyway, we are the last people to board this plane. We go on, we get the little free bottles of mini wine. When I tell you we had 3 of these, bearing in mind, it's like a 9-hour flight. And they come around again and I'm like, oh, can we have like 2 more little bottles of wine? I've had quite the day. I've had quite the morning. We get cut off. He goes, we haven't got any more. I go, I can see them. They're there. No, we're not allowed anymore. Fine, whatever. I'm not going to argue. No problem. We get then off the plane. We go to the luggage collection. Is my suitcase there? I'll give you one guess. No. So we end up speaking to this guy and I'm like, oh, look, my luggage just hasn't come out. Basically, we had all these issues when we checked in. I don't know where my case is. And he's like, oh, it's just in limbo at the moment. Limbo? Okay, fine. What do you know? What? That's never happened to me in my life. That's never happened to me. I've never lost my suitcase. It's never not arrived. I don't know what to do in this situation. I'm panicking. I'm crying. Imi, bless her, steps up, deals with it all for me. He then starts talking to us about only fools and horses and keeps saying lovely jubbly and keeps asking us about Woolworths. And I'm going, mate, there is nothing I love more than a good old chit chat chinwag. I don't have time for this lollygagging at the moment. I'm panicking. And anyway, he eventually is like, look, take this ticket, whatever. We'll deliver it to you. We'll find it and we'll let you know. I was like, okay, yeah, cool, fine. We go to the hotel, we check in, all is fine. Anyway, I get a text going, oh, your suitcase has been delivered. I said, oh, fantastic. Oh, no, it's on the way. I said, oh, fantastic. I go downstairs. The reception's like, no idea, not seen a suitcase, no idea, don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, does not arrive. does not arrive for the rest of the holiday. There is one day on this holiday, I made 45 phone calls to British Airways and all their associated partners. I emailed the CEO of British Airways. I emailed the CEO of British Airways Europe. I emailed all of their sister airlines, because we were on one of the sister airlines that I actually can't remember the name of. And I emailed them all. I emailed absolutely all of them. And one of them did actually, his secretary did forward it to the team to deal with it. And I did then get a response. Anyway, I didn't have any of my clothes. I didn't have, I had my clothes. I didn't have any of my shoes, any of my makeup, any of my toiletries, nothing. So I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Anyway, the entire holiday, it just doesn't show up. And then eventually at the end of the holiday, we go to leave our bags in the luggage storage to like check out. Bearing in mind, we'd spoken to the reception 2 or 3 times about a big pink suitcase that had been delivered by the airport people. And then my friend Imi goes in and she goes to drop her suitcase off, and she comes out and she goes, babe. And I said, what? And she goes, I think that's your suitcase. And I said, I looked at her dead in her eye and I said, that's not funny. And she said, I wouldn't joke. I would not joke at a time like this. Lo and behold, I walk in the luggage room and I go, that's my suitcase. And they go, oh, that's yours. And I said, yeah, sorry, have I been living in a parallel dimension? I've been talking to you about this suitcase for the last week and a half. What do you mean, is this yours? And I said, yeah. The woman, again, looks me square in my face and she goes, that's been here many days. So have I. Good. Anyway, put in complaint with British Airways and I got all the money back for everything that I spent. I actually didn't really end up spending a lot of money on my holiday, and they replaced my suitcase because they broke it because it got stopped by the security, and that's why it was late. And I still to this day hold a grudge against that check-in woman because she ruined the entire holiday, and I stand on business with that. I think this was all her fault.
I just found out that I was the other woman to my cheating husband. I, 37 female, have been with my husband, 40 male, for 13 years and married for 9. We have 2 sons, 6 and 8, and have been happily married, with the usual ups and downs you would expect in a relationship. But we have been happy, very happy. My mother-in-law has a terminal disease and expected to pass very, very soon. So we have flown over to spend time with everyone. They are Australian and we live in the US. They used to fly over and stay with us all the time before mother-in-law got sick. I love my mother-in-law and father-in-law. They have been amazing grandparents and very lovely to me. Yesterday, my husband and father-in-law looked after the kids, while my mother-in-law and I had a spa day. When we were driving home, she started getting very upset and she ended up getting me to pull over. Then she dropped the news. When I met my husband, he was still in a relationship with his ex. I came to Australia on a working holiday at a snow resort and my husband was working at the same place. We quickly fell in love. He came to the US for the next season. We did that for a few years around the world before settling down. Mother-in-law had just revealed that he had a long-term 4-year girlfriend at the time. He was driving back every few weeks to see her, and she apparently visited once. According to mother-in-law, she wasn't a huge fan of the girlfriend, but has felt terrible keeping the secret for so long and wanted to get it off her chest before she passed. Basically, my husband up and left Australia and ditched everything he had and knew. Ghosted all of his old childhood friends, girlfriends, etc. His parents moved states not long after, so there was next to no ties to his old life. There were so many lies. He said he used to visit his parents on those trips the first year we met. No, he was fucking his girlfriend for 4 months, going on dates, hanging out with her family. She visited for days. I don't really know how to feel right now. I feel so betrayed and lost. I can't trust him again, but I don't think I could be a single mom. I feel so lost right now. She has a small edit and says, just so people know, we were exclusive after the Australian snow season ended, which is from June to October. We both came back to the US for our snow season. We did that, switching between the hemispheres together for a few years. I haven't spoken with my husband yet, but I'm going to approach the situation gently.
Am I in the wrong for finally kicking out my best friend after she temporarily moved into my house and refused to leave? About 6 months ago, my best friend Lena, 26 female, went through a bad breakup. She and her boyfriend lived together, and after the split, she had nowhere to go. Naturally, I, 27 female, offered to let her crash at my place for a few weeks until she got on her feet. At first, it was fine. We watched movies, ate junk food, stayed up late talking, almost like a fun sleepover. But then the few weeks turned into 2 months, then 3, and she made 0 moves to find her own place. In fact, she started treating my house like it was hers. Some examples include, she rearranged my living room furniture because she didn't like the flow. She started ordering expensive groceries on my account without asking. She invited friends over for parties without even checking with me. And she took my clothes, makeup, and jewelry without asking, and ruined a designer jacket by spilling wine on it. When I gently suggested that she start looking for an apartment, she got super defensive. I thought you wanted me here. I just need a little more time. Stop being so uptight. Meanwhile, my house, which used to be my sanctuary, felt invaded. I couldn't even sit on my own couch without finding her laundry piled on it. The final straw, one weekend, I went out of town to visit my parents. I came back and she had moved her new boyfriend into my guest bedroom without asking, without warning. Just, oh, I figured you wouldn't mind. They were lounging around in my living room, half dressed, eating my snacks like it was their house. I snapped. I told Lena that she had 48 hours to pack and leave. No more excuses. No more, I just need another week. She cried and said I was abandoning her and that real friends don't kick you out when you're struggling. She even tried to guilt trip me by saying that I promised to help her no matter what. But honestly, it had been 6 months. She wasn't struggling. She was taking advantage of me. I stood firm. I even helped her pack to make sure that she left. Now, some mutual friends are saying that I was cruel to throw her out after everything that she'd been through, that I should have given her a real deadline earlier, even though I did multiple times and she ignored it. So, was I in the wrong?